This is what is left of Kamai forest, the forest that used to spread across the rolling hills of Kamai and no more, destroyed when the shamba system was introduced in this part of the Aberdare forest. Not much is left, trees that are barely an inch high, old stumps and grasslands. But oblivious of the environmental damage, the farmers have already moved to Kieni part of the forest. Already, the lands have been cleared and cultivated. The shamba system was reintroduced in 2007 in Aberdare and Mt Kenya forest to ease pressure on land.
Regenerating a forest that has been completely degraded takes more than maybe decades. And that is why allowing a forest to degrade is extremely dangerous, because it takes so much more to rehabilitate it. And in fact, we may never be able to regenerate this forest.
Environmentalists are warning that while attention has been riveted on the Mau forest, these other forests are in danger of depletion unless drastic action is taken.
The government is still attracted by the revenue that it gets from the farmers. So they allow people to graze, or they allow people to cut grass and carry. But if you ask me, because our forests are so few, we should just not allow people to come into the forest.
The effects of the extensive forest destruction is also being felt downstream. The Chania Falls, its waters once a spectacular scene, have become a trickle. And the effects of the degradation on the Ndakaini Dam are well documented. The Dam's Environmental Conservation Association predicted it would serve the country up until 2010 if the rains do not come, a prediction that is sadly unfolding. The dam, which has a capacity of 70 million cubic meters of water, now stands at 23.2 million cubic meters.
The source is in the Aberdare Mountains, which had been very severely cut down, and the forests have gone down. And our main message was to say, please conserve the Aberdares, because if you don't conserve the Aberdares, then you're not going to have the water coming into Ndakaine.
These forests have not been destroyed by individuals, they have been destroyed by governments. And it is the government that we are challenging, that it really must do everything possible. And it is disheartening.
Farmers are being encouraged to plant trees on their lands and road reserves. Maathai also says the government may have to scrap the shamba system altogether if the forests are to survive.
There has been significant mismanagement over the last few decades, and it's extremely important that Kenyans together do everything they can to ensure that that mismanagement and the resulting degradation is reversed, that those water towers are restored to health.
The United Nations recommends that every country should have at least 10% of its land mass covered with forests. Some countries have more, some countries have less, but we have less than 2. We ought to be scared stiff.
Even as the spotlight shines on the Mau and the need to preserve it, other water catchment areas such as the Aberdare forests continue to be degraded, making it urgent to conserve all water towers sooner rather than later. Salim Bilu reporting for Citizen TV in Kamai Forest, Aberdares.